What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Twinnrova, and I build and play role-playing games. Recently, I've been drawn to the origins of role-playing video games. And although, of course, the oldest role-playing video games were inspired in design by tabletop games, tabletop role-playing games, like Dungeons & Dragons, for instance, I found that their implementations, the way that they were built, were heavily influenced by old text-based adventure games, which makes a lot of sense. Role-playing games are essentially adventure games with more statistics and systems combined with some kind of non-linearity, somewhat deeper than something like a choose-your-own-adventure. But all of these genres are interrelated, and so today I am jumping way back into the past to one of the first antecedents, not only of role-playing video games, but of adventure video games. This is Hunt the Wumpus by Gregory Yob. It's a text-based strategy game, considered to be an early adventure game, with a similar game loop to early text-based adventure and role-playing video games. For some context, this game, Hunt the Wumpus, is only barely newer than Dungeons & Dragons. Original D&D was published for the first time in 1974, and Hunt the Wumpus was originally published in 1975. We actually studied Hunt the Wumpus in the very first course on classical AI that I ever took in my undergrad. So this one is very, very interesting for me. Right now we're looking at some artwork that is on the cover of a later graphical port of Hunt the Wumpus, and I actually distinctly remember this art work from my class, which is pretty cool. But we are going to jump back into the original text-based game. I don't know if there's any sound here. I've got the sound on just in case the game decides to produce noise. It may literally only be text. Yeah, this is where we're at. I'm on Internet Archive. I'll link in the description where you can actually go and play Hunt the Wumpus. Yeah, let's talk about how the game is played by printing instructions. We're going to type Y and we'll get some information. Welcome to Hunt the Wumpus. The Wumpus lives in a cave of 20 rooms. Each room has 3 tunnels leading to other rooms. Look at a dodecahedron to see how this works. If you don't know what a dodecahedron is, ask someone. And this is funny. I actually pulled up an image to show you kind of what this looks like. This is a blog called Blue Ringa. I don't know if this is the author's Ringa in Blue. It seems like I'm going to guess that is the author's name, where they're breaking down all of the adventure games that came before the game Adventure, which is kind of funny. But they describe this video game called Lost in the Caves, where you would basically get dropped off into one room in a cave, and you'd have to find your way out, and all the caves are kind of like described similarly, so you're basically having to follow a kind of tree structure to get out of a cave. And they talk about how that inspired the author of Hunt the Wumpus to create a similar game, but with a different kind of like topological structure, a different layout of the cave. And so this is a squashed dodecahedron, which a dodecahedron would be like a 12-sided die. If you've ever played like a tabletop role-playing game, your D12 is a dodecahedron. And when Hunt the Wumpus says each room has 3 tunnels leading to other rooms, if you take a look at any point in this graph, any node in the graph, like for instance this one, there are exactly 3 rooms that this room connects to. So basically we're going to be dropped somewhere in this kind of a map. And we're guaranteed that no matter where we're at, there are 3 conjoining rooms, at least in the original Hunt the Wumpus game. Yeah, this is cool. I actually tried to figure out how to compile and run the Lost Caves to play that too. Haven't managed to get that working yet, but I found Hunt the Wumpus on the Internet Archive, so yeah, excited to give this a try. Okay, so The Wumpus lives in this cave of 20 rooms. There are hazards. The bottomless pits. 2 rooms. Okay, so out of the 20 rooms, 2 of them have bottomless pits. If you go there, you fall into the pit and lose. So we need to avoid falling into the pit. There are also superbats. 2 other rooms have superbats. So I've got my handy dandy pen and paper to the side, and this is 100% going to be necessary playing this game. I'm thinking that we should possibly be able to play and beat this in a single session. Hopefully it's not too challenging. I don't think it'll take too long. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So there's two pits, 2 superbats, 1 Wumpus, who we are finding, and 20 total rooms in the shape of a dodecahedron. Okay. 2 other rooms have superbats. If you go there, a bat grabs you and takes you to some other room at random, which might be troublesome. Yeah, so the superbat might be able to drop you right on the bottomless pit or even onto the Wumpus, which is unfortunate. Okay. The Wumpus. The Wumpus is not bothered by the hazards. He has sucker feet, to escape the bottomless pits, and is too big for a bat to lift. That makes sense. Usually he is asleep. 2 things wake him up. You're entering his room or you're shooting an arrow. Okay, so he's going to start the game asleep, and if we shoot an arrow in the cave somewhere, we want to be... We're going to want to make sure that we hit, because if we miss, sounds like that's going to wake him up or is stumbling into his room. If the Wumpus wakes, he moves, probability 75%, 1 room. Okay, so he takes 1 step to a different node in our cave system, or he stays still with a probability of 25%. After that, if he is where you are, he eats you up and you lose. So if the Wumpus ends the turn in the same room as us, then we get eaten by the Wumpus and we lose. Wow, so there's a lot of ways to lose. We can fall in a pit. We can be eaten by the Wumpus. Okay. Each turn you may move or shoot a crooked arrow. Moving, you can go 1 room through 1 tunnel. So we can move 1 room at a time. It sounds like the Wumpus has a 75% chance of moving also. Oh, and so if we move into a room and then the Wumpus moves into the same room, then we'll be eaten and die. So that'll be unfortunate. And then arrows. You have 5 arrows. You lose when you run out. So there's another lose condition. We only have 5 shots to kill the Wumpus. Each arrow can go from 1 to 5 rooms. Okay, so we can fire up to 5 rooms away. You aim by telling the computer the room numbers you want the arrow to go to. Numbers. If the arrow can't go that way, for instance, if there's no tunnel, it moves at random to the next room. Interesting. Yeah. Each arrow can go from 1 to 5 rooms, so we can fire up to 5 rooms away from us. It's interesting. I wonder if it's called the crooked arrow because it's like going to turn. It's like it doesn't have to go in a straight line. Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see how that works. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. If the arrow hits the Wumpus, you win. If the arrow hits you, you lose. Wow, so you can shoot yourself with the arrow. I'm trying to think of how that would work. Like if you accidentally fire the arrow at your own room. I wonder if it's like Pac-Man, like your arrow can kind of go off the edge and reappear on the other side in another room. Very, very interesting. I'll have to watch out for that. When you are 1 room away from the Wumpus or a hazard, the computer says, if there's a Wumpus 1 room away, I smell a Wumpus. If there's a bat, bats nearby. And if there's a pit, I feel a draft. Okay, and so this is the information we're going to have to use to kind of build up our model of the world, to understand which rooms we can step into, which rooms that we shouldn't step into. Okay, very, very cool. So I basically will want to build a dodecahedron style map in my notes as we're playing. Let me go ahead and take another look at this. So we've got like a pentagon in the center, and then this is another pentagon. Instead of a point at each corner, there's also a point in the middle. Okay. And then we've got another pentagon on the outside with just a point at each corner. Okay, that's not too bad to draw, actually. Okay, this should not be too bad. All right, so without further ado, we're going to give this a try and see how many tries it takes to hunt the Wumpus. Wish me luck. Okay, attention all Wumpus lovers. There are now 3 additions to the Wumpus family of programs. Wump 2 with different cave arrangements, and Wump 3 with different hazards. There's also Wump 4 hide and seek. Fun fact, according to the blogger that I was mentioned, Ringa the Blue, Wump 4 was never actually released, so there is a Wump 2 and Wump 3. I do have them on standby in case we can beat Hunt the Wumpus 1. We will pull out game 2 and 3 and see how they go. I am not sure if this is going to be like a really quick, we win it immediately, or if this is going to be quite hard. I am not entirely sure. Whatever the case, here is the original Hunt the Wumpus. You are in room 20. All right, so I'm gonna start with my little drawing. We'll have the first little pentagon, and one of these rooms is 20. Okay. This is our starting point. And the tunnels lead to 13, 16, and 19. Okay. So 13, 16, and 19. Yeah. 20, 13, 16, 19. We don't hear or smell anything, so that is good as a starting point. So I can choose to either shoot or move. I type an S or an M. So of course we're going to move. We don't smell a Wumpus or anything. Why don't we move to room 13? You're in room 13. Tunnels lead to 12, 14, and 20. Okay. So 20 is the room that we started in. I'll put a star next to that to show that it was our starting point. Okay, so this will also take us to 12 and 14. And there's nothing, we don't have any kind of hazard that we're aware of in these rooms. Okay, let's move on to room 12. That we haven't explored. Ooh, I feel a draft twice. Very, very interesting. So 12 is connected to 13 is where we came from, but it's also connected to 11 and 3. Okay. So in my notes, I'm trying to think about how to draw the setup that we just saw. So we'll have, let's see, 3 go this direction. And this is also connected to 11. Okay. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the rooms out of 20 are on my little map now. Pretty quick. So it seems like it's not going to take too long to move through a game. A draft, if I remember right, was a bottomless pit. And so, oh, this is good. We know that room 13 was safe. We stepped into room 12, and room 12 is safe. We feel 2 different drafts. Ooh, so that means that both 11 and 3, both of those rooms lead to bottomless pits. Somehow, we just lucked into knowing exactly which 2 rooms have the bottomless pits. That is epic. Okay, very cool. So we cannot step forward. We have to step back. Let's move back to room 13. And this is the perk of mapping this out. Okay, 20 is our starting point. 12 is the room next to the 2 pits. So the only way that we have not explored yet is 14. So we're going to move to room 14 next. Okay, so we're in 14. We don't have any additional information. Nothing going on near us. Leads back to 3. That's where we came from. Also leads to 4 and 15. So I'll add a connection to 4 and a connection to 15. I'm learning that my keeping the dodecahedron shape in my notes is not necessarily going to work, because I don't know which of the rooms we've already visited that this is. Sorry, not which of the rooms we've already visited. I don't know which room that we have seen and noted exists but haven't visited. For instance, 16 and 19 connect to our original room. We haven't actually stepped there. I don't know which one of those rooms connects with, like, say, 4 or 15 that we haven't been to yet. And so it's very possible that I'm going to have to draw connectors, like going way across the page or something. So that is good to know. Something to think about if you are playing Hunt the Wumpus and trying to take notes. Okay, so we've explored 13. We haven't explored 15 or 4. I guess let's move to, I don't know, let's go to 4 next and see what happens. I smell a Wumpus and I feel a draft. Okay, so we're in room 4. 4 is connecting to 3. Oh, 3 has a pit. We already know that 3 has a pit. We don't know that the Wumpus is not in the room with the pit. The Wumpus is not affected by the pit. So 4 takes us to 3. I actually, in my drawing, had those rooms like opposite each other, so I have this big connector now going from 4 to 3. It goes back to 14, which we know that 14 doesn't have anything. And it also connects to 5. Do we already have 5 somewhere? No, you're in room 4. It connects to 5. So, wow. The Wumpus is not in 13. Sorry. The Wumpus is not in 4 or 14. I'm going to put a W question mark next to room 3 with the pit and room 5 with no pit. If we go and stand in the room with the Wumpus, then we're going to have a chance of getting eaten. The Wumpus should not be awake. We're not standing in the Wumpus's room. So I'm thinking that, okay, the strategy is probably to go try to find one of the other rooms that connects to the Wumpus's room, and to basically, like, I don't know if triangulate is the right word. Basically figure out, okay, these 2 rooms connect to the room with the Wumpus. And because they both connect, if you can smell the Wumpus in these 2 rooms, you know, they both connect to the same room, that maybe that's a way that you can narrow down where the Wumpus is. If that's the case, I'm in room 4. We're connected to 3 with the pit. We don't want to step there. We're going to fall in. 5 may have the Wumpus. So I think what I need to do is to go back to 14 and try to explore, try to find another room that connects to room 5 or room 3 and see if we can still smell a Wumpus or not. So I'm going to take a step to 14 again. Okay. And then we've already explored 13. Let's go to 15. We've not explored room 15 yet. Hopefully there's not like a bat. But we're going to get a warning. We're going to get a 1-room warning. 15 leads to 6. That is a new one. So we'll draw that. It leads to 14 is where we just came from. And then it leads to 16. Okay. 16 is next to 20. 16 is a room we haven't explored. Let me connect 16 to 15. Okay, our starting room was 20, and one of the rooms that we did not explore was 16. So if we go to 16, then we should be also connected to 20. Yeah. So we're connected to 14, we're connected to 6, we're connected to 16. I don't know, 6 might be close to 5. I don't know if that's actually how that works. Let's try moving to the unexplored room number 6. I smell a Wumpus. Ooh. 6 connects to 5. That is where we smelled a Wumpus before. We were in room 4 connects to 5. Room 6 connects to 5 and we smell a Wumpus. Room 7, which is a room that we have not yet explored. Or heard of even. And room 15, which is where we just stepped from. That tells me that the Wumpus is likely in room 5. So I'm going to shoot my very first arrow. Number of rooms, 1 to 5. We're going to fire it 1 room away. Room number 5. Aha! You got the Wumpus. Hee hee hee, the Wumpus will get you next time. Oh my gosh, okay. So we did it. We killed the Wumpus in our first go. I don't know if I got... I actually think that I got lucky. I really do think that I got lucky with landing on a room that connected to 2 pits at the same time. Yeah, that was quite helpful. So I knew to avoid the pit. Otherwise, we would have had to do the same strategy like with the Wumpus, needing to find 2 different rooms that connects to it to kind of like triangulate where the Wumpus is. We would have to do that with the pits. We never came across a bat. That never happened. So sick. Okay, that was fun and really not so bad at all. Let's play it again. Yeah, same setup. Okay, you're in room 20. 20 leads to 13, 16, and 9. Oh, so is this always the same? That is good to know. If the numbers are the same, then I can kind of use that to inform my map. Let me start a new drawing. So we've got 20 connects to 13, 16, and 9. So maybe the room numbers are always the same in Hunt the Wumpus, but maybe just the placement of everything changes. 13, 16, 19. All right. Let's move to 13, my lucky number. Okay, 13 leads to 12, 14, and 20. As per usual. Nothing new. 12, 14, and 20. Let's move to 12. This is in the direction of the 2 pits before. I feel a draft. Okay, so once again, there are 2 drafts. Maybe I should have said no to same setup. Okay, let's move into one of the pits. Let's go ahead and die and see what happens. Yee, fell in a pit. Haha, you lose. Same setup, no. Okay, Hunt the Wumpus. Bats nearby, you're in room 13. Okay, cool. So I shouldn't have picked same setup. Same setup is going to literally place everything the same. And we don't want that. Okay, let's give this another try. You're in room 13. So place that here, and tunnels lead to 12, 14, and 20. Now that is the same. That is actually the same. Yeah, that is the same, but there are bats nearby now. So we started in a different room. But 13 is still connected to 20. It's the same map, but things are placed differently, and we're starting from a different starting room. So interesting. Connects to 12, 14, and 20. Okay. There's bats nearby, so I guess I'm going to put a bat question mark in all 3 rooms, and this is immediately going to make this harder. We did get lucky with the first setup. It's going to be hard to narrow this down. But we're starting off in lucky number 13. Let's go to 14, my wife's lucky number. And, okay, we don't hear the bat. So there's no bat in 14. I'm going to cross that off. Tunnels lead to 4, 13, and 15. 4, 13, 15. Okay, and there's nothing going on in these rooms. Let's go ahead and move to room 4. Okay, we feel a draft. We're in room 4. It connects to 3, 5, and 14. We have not encountered 3 or 5 yet. 14 we just stepped away from, so there's not a pit in that room. But rooms 3 and room 5 each could have a pit. Now we don't want to step that way because we don't want to fall in the pit, so we're going to move back from room 4 to room 14 to avoid the pit. Okay, and the only safe way to move, 13 would take us back to the bats. 15 we have not explored yet. This is the only safe way to go currently. And if we run into another 2 question marks, we're going to be in trouble. I feel a draft in room 15. 15 leads to room 6. See here, 6. 14 is where we came from. And 16. We have not encountered any of those rooms before. And now we are at the point where no matter where we go, there's a chance of death. The pit is a chance of actually dying, while the bats are just like getting picked up and dropped. So basically, yeah, the only places we can go are going to have a question mark about either having a pit or a bat. I think that I'd rather take my chances with the bat because it has a pretty good chance of not dropping me in a bad room. So let's, instead of stepping into 6 or 16 where there could be a pit, let's step back to 14, which has nothing. We're going to move towards the bats, which were in room 13. Not in room 13, but connected to room 13. Bats nearby. Either 12 or 20. Oh, let's go to 12. Okay. So you're in room 12. We did not get picked up by bats, so 12 does not have bats. That means that room 20 definitely has one of the 2 bats. Okay, so we've actually identified something. That is great news. Nice. It's like deduction. We're in 12. It connects to 13 that we came from, but also 3 and 11. Now, we feel a draft, and 3 has a question mark for a pit. So now we actually also know that 3 has the pit, and 5 earlier did not have a pit. Excellent. So we've identified one room with bats and one room with a pit in it. Excellent. The other room is 3, which we have not encountered yet. Okay. We are making some progress here. We have encountered 1, 2, 3... I say encountered to say that we have been at least one room away from, not necessarily that we've explored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the rooms so far in this cave. We've encountered half. All right, let's move into... Okay. Oh, wait a second. 12, 3... 12, 3, 11, and 13. Okay, no, I misspoke that. I almost made a mistake. 3 we have explored. It has a pit. 13 is where we came from. 11 is the other room. So we're going to move to 11. Wow, that could have been a silly mistake. Bats nearby. Okay. In room 11. Connects to 10 is one we have not encountered. 12, which we know has nothing, and 19, another unencountered room. So if 10 and 19 are really both unencountered, then one of them has bats. So bat question mark on 10 and 19. We've got one pit location, one bat location, There's another bat up for grabs. There's another pit somewhere. And then, of course, the Wumpus is somewhere. Yeah, so I could see how you could get kind of caught. You could get stuck and only have rooms with pit question marks that might have a pit. So I can see how you would accidentally stumble into the Wumpus or a pit or something. Very, very interesting. Okay, so is the best course of action to explore where there might be a bat, or was there somewhere else we could go? Looking at all of the edges of our map, room 5, I think we proved that room 5 doesn't have anything. So actually that is a room that we could explore with 0 chance of failure. So instead of going to room 10 or 19 with a bat, we're going to step from 11 back to what, 12? Yeah? I'm going to move to 12. Has nothing. 12 connects to 13, that is safe. Move to cave 13. It says bats nearby. We know that there are bats in room 20. We want to avoid that room. We're headed towards 5. We've got 2 more steps. We're going to move to 14, which is a safe room. Okay, and this should connect to 4. Yep, it does. Move to room 4, which is safe. And we're going to feel a draft. We know that this isn't in connected room 3. Earlier when we were in room 4, we did not feel safe enough to explore room 5, but now we believe it should be safe. So let's move to room 5. Okay, 5 leads to 1, 4, and 6. 4 we know is safe, we just stepped from. 6, ooh. 6 we have encountered, not explored. Make that connection. We thought 6 had a pit in it. We're in room 5. It connects to 6. 6 has no draft. So 6 does not have a pit. It is a safe room. We now know that the other pit is in room 16. So we are no longer going to fall into a pit as long as we can avoid getting picked up by a bat, which is either in 19 or 10. Epic. Okay. We're doing good. We're doing really good. The other room it connects to, other than 6 and 4, is room 1, which we have not even encountered yet. Okay. Room 1, which should be a safe way to explore. So far we've encountered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So almost all of the rooms. Let's move to room 1. You're in room 1, safe. Nice, nice. It leads to 5, 2, and 8. 5 we just stepped from. 2 and 8 it doesn't look like we've even encountered yet. Wow. 2 and 8. So we should have almost seen the entire cave complex. Let's move to room 2. Should be safe. I feel a draft and bats nearby. Okay. Okay. In room 2, it leads to 1, which we believe to be safe. 3, which we know has a pit, so that is the draft. That's our 1 draft. And 10, which had a bat question mark. So earlier in room 11, we heard bats. The bats could have either been in rooms 19 or 10. This proves that the bats are in room 10. So I will remove them from 19 and confirm that they are in room 10. Room 10 has bats. And 2 loops all the way around to room 10. I have those across my little diagram again. All right, we've pinpointed the pits. We've pinpointed the bats. Yeah, we should be good to go. This means that room 2 leads to 2 different pits. 2 leads to 3 with the pit, leads to 10 with the pit. The only safe way to go is back to room 1. Okay, and then we can explore in a new direction. We can go to room 8. That is an unexplored room. Connects to 1, where we've already come from. It connects to 7. We've not encountered 7 yet. Wow. And it connects to 9. We have not encountered 9 yet either. Oh my gosh. This is wild. I'm like, really? There's still rooms left to explore? I guess let's go to 7. Leads to 8 that we just came from. It also leads to 6. When room 7 connects to 6, that's perfect. They actually were side by side. That is excellent. Connects to 6, 8, and 17. Have we encountered 17 yet? No, we have not. And we still have not smelled a Wumpus either. That is also crazy to me. Okay, let's move to room 17 then. We feel a draft and we smell a Wumpus. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. This leads to room 7, where we just stepped from, which we know is safe. Also leads to rooms 16 and 18. Okay, I think this answers our question. 16 we've encountered before. 16 has a pit in it. We already know. So that means that room 18 has to have the Wumpus. Alright, so I'm going to fire. I'm going to shoot an arrow 1 room away into room 18. Aha, you got the Wumpus. Hee hee hee, the Wumpus will get you next time. Very, very cool. Yeah, so two plays, and twice we have killed the Wumpus. Yeah, that is a really cool setup. I guess let's now try our luck at playing Wumpus 2 with a new cave setup. Awesome. Alright, so here is Wumpus 2. Also on Internet Archive. I will link in the description. Yeah, let's get some instructions. Welcome to Wumpus 2. This version has the same rules as Hunt the Wumpus. However, you now have a choice of caves to play in. Some caves are easier than others. All caves have 20 rooms and 3 tunnels leading from one room to other rooms. Okay, that's cool. The caves are dodecahedron. The rooms of this cave are on a 12-sided object, each forming a pentagon. The rooms are at the corners of the pentagons, each room having tunnels that lead to 3 other rooms. So this is Hunt the Wumpus like OG, the original game. Alright, cave option number 1, the Mobius Strip. This cave is 2 rooms wide and 10 rooms around, like a belt. You will notice there is a half twist somewhere. Okay, so if we take a look at the blog post over here, which is so helpful, by the way. Oh, this is kind of cool. Here they have this kind of like flowchart of like early hide and seek math kind of games, inspiring the caves games where you get lost in a cave, and that ultimately inspiring Wumpus, Hunt the Wumpus, which is kind of like a combination of being lost in caves and hide and seek. So yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty fun game. But they have this nice little chart right here. So here is Cave 0. This is the game that we just played twice. Yeah, next up, let's try out the Mobius Strip. This is like kind of like a helix, but it twists at some point, so that is going to be pretty interesting. The gameplay should be kind of the same, but what's going to happen is we're going to have, with different maps, we're going to have more or less routes of escape, right? Like, for instance, if 2 side-by-side were pits in this setup, we'd have to go all the way around the other way, so this should be interesting. Let's see what else it has to say. There's the string of beads, 5 beads in a circle. Each bead is a diamond with a vertical crossbar. The right and left corners lead to neighboring beads. This one is difficult to play. The string of beads. Ooh, yeah, that is quite interesting. Okay. Hex network. Imagine a hex file floor. Maybe hex tile floor is what they meant. Take a rectangle with 20 points, intersections, inside 4x4. Join right and left sides to make a cylinder. Then join top and bottom to form a torus, a donut. Have fun imagining this one. Yeah. Thankfully I don't have to. We've got the toroidal hexnet. Interesting. Yeah, that looks absolutely nuts. Cave 4. Let's see. Caves 1 through 3 are regular in the sense that each room goes to 3 other rooms, and tunnels allow two-way traffic. Here are some irregular caves. Cave 4, dendrite with degeneracies. Pull a plant from the ground. The roots and branches form a dendrite, i.e. there are no looping paths. Degeneracy means A, some rooms connect to themselves, and B, some rooms have more than one tunnel to the same room. For instance, 12 has 2 tunnels to 13. Oh my gosh. The dendrite cave. Wow. Okay. 5, the one-way lattice. Here all tunnels go one way only. To return you must go around the cave about 5 moves. Oh my gosh. Wow, so it's directed. One way only. And then cave 6, enter your own cave. The computer will ask you the rooms next to each room in the cave, for example. Oh, okay. So you can build your own cave with cave 6. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So why don't we just play through these? Let's start with cave number 1, which is 0 is the usual, the Mobius strip. Let's give it a try. Cave number 1. Hunt the Wumpus. Bats nearby. Bats nearby. You're in room 20. Okay, perfect. What a way to start. We're in room 20. Connects to 1, 18, and 19. 1, 18, and 19. We have a 2 out of 3 chance of immediately being picked up and transported somewhere else. That's hilarious. I'm just going to let's move to, probably going to say this wrong, but Smitty Jürgenheimer Jägerman Jetson was number 1. Let's head to room number 1. If you know, you know. Zap, Superbat Snatch. Elsewheresville for you. You are in room 10. Okay, so we know that room number 1 has a bat. We did not die immediately. Room 18 or 19 also possibly have a bat, because there were 2 rooms with bats connected to room 20. And now 10 is connected to 8, 9, and 12, so this is an entirely different look at the space. 10 connects to 8, 9, and 12. We've not encountered any of these rooms before, so my original map is completely disconnected from my new map. Completely disconnected. Okay. The mapping is kind of fun, honestly. It makes me think of playing like old Dungeons and Dragons where you have to like map the dungeon as you're going. I'm actually having a good time doing this. Let's move to room number 8. We have no signs of danger nearby. Okay, 8 has nothing, no kinds of trouble. It connects back to 10. It also leads to 6 and 7. Okay. I guess let's move to room 6. Oh, whoops. Where to? 6? I smell a Wumpus. Ooh, already. You're in room 6, and this leads to 4, 5, and 8. 4. 8 we've already explored. 5. We haven't encountered 4 or 5. Ooh, so this is scary. 4 or 5 possibly have the Wumpus. And we don't want to just step into that room and possibly die. So we're going to move back to 8 and try to find the way around. I'm imagining if this is that ring shape, then we just maybe found 2 side-by-side rooms, possibly, that could have the Wumpus. If we go the other direction around the ring, assuming that's even what we've just discovered, then it'll be a long journey, but we should be able to find the Wumpus on the other side. Hopefully not have to just 50-50 guess between the 2 rooms. That would be unfortunate with this pattern. Okay, we're going to move. We're not going to shoot. We're not going to take our chances like that. We're going to move back to room 8, and we'll continue exploring. The unexplored direction was room 7. We smell a Wumpus in room 7. Epic. It connects to 5, which smelled like a Wumpus, 8 that we came from, and 9, which we've encountered and no has nothing in it. So the Wumpus is in fact in room 5. Let's shoot 1 room away to room 5, and we killed the Wumpus. Excellent. Yeah. Awesome. Play again? Yes. Same setup? No. Cave number 1. Let's do it. Hunt the Wumpus. I feel a draft. You're in room 13. Okay. Room 13. Start a new little graph down here. We got lucky that time. Yet to fail. Yet to have bad luck. Just ruin us. 13 leads to 11, 14, and 15. No signs of danger. Let's move to room 11. Okay, leads back to 12, or 13, but also to 9 and 12. Okay. Cool, cool. Still no sign of danger. Let's move to room 9. We fill a draft in room 9. Leads back to 11, but also to 7 and 10, both of which we have not encountered, both of which could have a pit. Okay, so we'll move back to 11. We're going to avoid the 2 rooms with the pits. 12 is unexplored and seems safe. In 12, we also fill a draft. It connects to 10 and to 11 that we came from, and to 14? What? Really? You feel 2 drafts? Okay, so here's why I'm confused. Really? I'm confused because we connect to 10, which we thought could have a pit. So now we just know that 10 has a pit. 11 is safe. We just stepped from 11. But we feel another draft. It's connected to 14, and 14 we've encountered earlier and didn't have any signs of danger. So I don't understand that. We should be able to step from 12 to 11 to 13. 13 should connect to 14 and have no sign of danger. What this is implying is that 2 of these 3 rooms, 10, 11, and 14, should have drafts. Unless both pits are in 10 somehow. I don't know how that's possible. Wow, this is wild. I guess let's move to 11 and move to 13. And we fill a draft. Did I just miss that earlier? Wow. That's where we started. We filled a draft. Is that true? Did I just miss that? Well, we know that it's in 14 now. Wow. That's scary. We know where both pits are, so we can avoid them. I guess let's go to 15 now. I smell a Wumpus. We're in 15, you smell a Wumpus. We connect to 12, 16, and 17. How did we stepped from 13 to 15, but we don't connect back to 13? Oh my gosh, yeah. Is this the twist or something? Oh my gosh, this only leads to 12, 16, and 17. 12 we know is safe, but 16 and 17 are new. So either one of these could have the Wumpus in them. Okay, we're going to move to 12 for safety. Wow, this is wildin'. I'm going to put, we went from 13 to 15 and it was a one-way, just in case that's trouble. We're in 12 and we feel a draft. Tunnels leading to 10 with a pit, 11 that's safe, and 14 with a pit, so we have to move to 11. Oh my gosh. Leads to 9, 12, and 13. 13 will take us back to 15 with the Wumpus rooms and nowhere to go. So 13's not going to help us. 12 only leads to pits, so that's not going to help us. We have to go down the path of 9. So we're going to move to 9. And we've been here before. 11's where we came from. 10 has a pit. We have to go to room 7 next, which is unexplored by us. Wow, this is wild. We're in 7. There are bats nearby. We know they're not in 5. 7 also connects to 8 and 9. Oh, we know they're not in 9, pardon me. It also connects to 5 and 8, neither of which we have encountered in this run. So we'll mark 5, we'll mark 8. They both could have a bat. Alright. Which is not the worst. Not the worst situation. But is there anywhere we can explore that is not going to be danger? On the edge of my map so far, we've got these 2 rooms that might have bats. We've got a pit. We've got 2 rooms that could have the Wumpus, so this is actually the best choice for us. Ooh, wish me luck. Let's move into room 5 and hope that we don't get dropped in a pit. Zap, Superbat Snatch, Elsewheresville for you. Zap, Superbat Snatch, Elsewheresville for you. Okay, so 5 has the bat. 8 does not have a bat. We didn't die, but it seems like we maybe got dropped onto another bat. Is that possible? Did we get picked up by a bat and dropped into the other room with the bat? We didn't die. We're in room 12 and we fill 2 drafts. This makes sense. We already have explored room 12. We know that 11 is the only safe path. So I can head back from 11 to 9. From 9 to 7. Okay, 7 connects to room 5, which has bats, and room 8, which does not. Wow, we survived that. Lucky ducks. We fill a draft in room 8. It connects back to 7, but it also connects to 6 and 10. We know that 10 has one of our pits. Yeah, there's a pit in 10 and a pit in 14. So the only way to go is to 6, which is unencountered. Let's head there. Bats nearby in room 6. Tunnels lead to 4. We have not encountered 4 yet. 8, which we have encountered, and 5, which we know has bats. Okay. That is good to know. So that means that we already knew that 8 was safe. What this tells us is that 4 should be safe. So let's move forward to room 4. In room 4, no signs of danger. Tunnels lead to 2, 3, and 6. 6 is a step backwards. 2 and 3, that is moving forward. I'm starting to be able to see the ring shape of the cavern. 2 and 3 are both unexplored and safe. So let's move forward to room 2. Okay, 2 is not doing anything crazy. It can go back to 4, but it also can take us to 1 or 19. Okay, so those are both unexplored and safe. Guess let's, is that true? We didn't have 1, that was last time? We went to room 1? When I made my, yeah, that was last game when I made the joke. Let's move to room 1. Bats nearby in room 1. Leads back to 2 and also forward to 20 and 3. 20 is not encountered, but 3 is encountered. Okay, so I believe the bats are in room 20, and here's why. When we were standing in room 4, we didn't get any kind of message about bats. Room 4 connected to room 3. We didn't hear bats nearby. Now we're on the other side of room 3. We are hearing bats, but we're connected to 2, which we know is safe, 3, which sounded safe from an adjoining room, and 20 that we've never explored before. So 20 has to be the other bats, which means that we need to move backwards. We can go back to 2 to 19, or we can go back to 3. Let's move to 3 and just, like, prove it. Okay, 3 says bats nearby. It connects to 4 that we've already explored. 1, which should be safe, and 5, which we know has bats. Excellent. This is all working out. So far, so good. Okay, so this means that to make forward progress, we need to move to room 19. We can get there either by heading to room 1 or to room 4. I guess let's move to room 4. From 4 to 2. And from 2 to 19, which should be safe. And this is a new room. I smell a Wumpus. Excellent. So it's like we made it around the ring. Bats are nearby. Let's see. We have tunnels leading back to 2. We have a tunnel leading to 17 and to 20. Well, we know that 20 has bats and did not smell like a Wumpus. So that means this 19 is connecting all the way back to the other end of the ring. 17 has the Wumpus, 16 did not. Alright, we're going to shoot room 17. Shoot a room that's 1 away. Room number 17. Boom, we got the Wumpus. Yeah, the Wumpus will get you next time. Nice, very, very cool. Yeah, that ring structure is pretty crazy. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so play again, yes. Same setup, no. We're going to go from cave 1 to cave 2. And just to remind ourselves, this is going to be a hard one. This is the string of beads. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is cool though. Yeah, we'll do all of them except for the anything you like. I won't take the time to build a whole cave network, but we'll play through what they have available for us here. So let's go to cave 2, the string of beads. It says that this is a hard one. Yeah, so it's going to be like rooms that are directly connected, like separating rectangles, I guess. Separating squares, and then like a square where you have a little more connectivity. The string of beads, very, very interesting. That is cave number 2. All right. In Wumpus 2. Okay, hunt the Wumpus. You are in room 14. Note that. No signs of danger leads to 13, 15, and 16. We don't know if we are in one of these connector regions or in one of the quote-quote beads. I guess that's what the rectangles are. 13, 15, 16. Okay. Let's move to room 13, lucky number. Leads back to 14, but also to 12 and 15. So this should be a one of the beads. I can guess that 12 might lead to 15. Let's go ahead and step there. It is not, and there are bats nearby. 12 and 13 then might be a connector at the edge of some beads. This goes to 10, 11, and 13. So 10, 11, and 13. We know 13 is safe, so either 10 or 11 has bats. We don't want to risk that if we don't have to, so we'll go backwards. We'll step back to 13. And from 13 we'll go to, what, like 15, which is safe. And tunnels lead back to 13, which we've explored. They lead to 14, which we've explored. And they lead to 16, which we have not explored, but we know should be safe. Okay, yeah, this is all a part of a bead. Very cool. So not a choke point. We'll move to 16 next. Ooh, we feel a draft. Dang. Okay. Tunnels lead to 14 and 15, which we know are safe. But it also leads to 17. Okay. So here's what just happened. 17 for sure has a pit. 17 is one of the choke points that connects to beads. Yeah, just like 13 and 12 are a choke point, 16 and 17 is a choke point. The problem is that the choke point just so happens to have a pit, so we actually cannot cross this. We cannot cross the ring this way. Ooh, that's unfortunate. We could actually get like stuck behind pits in this setup. Wow, this could really be bad. So we actually have to go through the bats. So we're going to risk death. We've still not died yet. We've been lucky. We'll see if the luck can hold up. We're going to move to, let's say, 14 and then to 13. This is going across a bead. And to 12, we should hear bats nearby. Okay. So 13 is backwards to the bead that we know is safe and towards the pits. 10 and 11 is pressing forward into a new bead of cave rooms, one of which has bats. We could get picked up and dropped somewhere bad. Let's see, I'm going to go for, let's try lucky 11. Okay, yeah, we picked correctly. So 11 is a safe room. Excellent, excellent. So now we know that it wasn't 11, it was 10 that has bats. So out of our 2 pits, we found 1. Out of our 2 bats, we found 1. Oh, but we have bats nearby twice. So actually there are potentially 2 bat rooms close by. This connects back to 12, which we know is safe. It connects to 10, which we know has bats. Oh, so we know the other room has bats? Really? 10, 12, and 9? Oh. Oh, this is bad. Okay, on the edges of my map, we have either a guaranteed bat or a guaranteed pit. Well, pit is guaranteed death, so we basically have to survive an interaction with a bat. We gotta be picked up. Just on the off chance that this is like a glitch or something, I don't think it is. I'm gonna go to room 9. This room 9 should be a bat, but room 10 we know is a bat. Room 9 should be a bat. Oh, zap. Superbat snatch. Elsewheresville for you, and ye fell in a pit. Ha ha ha, you lose. Oh my gosh. We lost for the first time on the beads and connectors map. Yeah, that was tough. We were forced to take a chance, and yeah, they dropped us right into a pit. Super unfortunate. All right, let's get it again. We have to beat this cave structure. Cave number 2. Okay, hunt the Wumpus. Ooh, we smell a Wumpus right off the bat. Bats nearby right off the bat. Oh, well, we might die right away. I'm in room 12. This connects to 10, 13, and 11. Don't know which way is a bead, don't know which way is a choke point with our current topology, cave topology. One room is death. I think we actually have one chance. We'll wake up a Wumpus, which actually could be fun to have happen. One room is safe. One room will carry us somewhere random, and another room will kill us. I guess let's go to lucky number 13. Almost typed 12. Zap, super snatch, super bat snatch. Elsewheresville for you. I feel a draft. You are in room 3. Okay, so we just got picked up and dropped into another part of the game. 13 had the bat, which means that 10 or 11 has the Wumpus. Make that note before we move on. Okay, so new area. We've got room 3. Connects to 1, 2, and 4. Everywhere is safe. Let's move to room 1. Oh wait, no, everything wasn't safe. I don't know why I can't read. We felt a draft. I don't know why I keep just like skipping text. That is totally my bad. So between 1, 2, and 4, one of them had a draft. Now we're in 1. It connects to 2, 3, and 20. There's 20 we haven't explored yet. But if we feel a draft in room 1, it could be 20 or 2. 2 is the common denominator here. In 3 there was a draft in 2. Or 4. Dang, so we don't know for sure. Do we have any pit guaranteed? No. So these are all question marks. I was trying to say, like, is it just 2? We don't really know. I'm going to put 2 question marks on 2 because it's probably 2. 20 is possibly a pit, and 4 is possibly a pit. Oh, but here's the problem, is that at the edge of this map now, it's all possibly pits, but 2 is most likely a pit. But there could be 2 pits near us, and we could just fall and die. It's possible that we die right now, but I'm going to take a step into room 20 and see what happens. I feel a draft, and bats are nearby. Okay. Very, very interesting. There's a lot going on. You're in 20. Leads to 1, which we know is safe. 18 and 19. Ooh. They're going to do this to me again? Wow. 18 and 19. So 20 was not a pit. That means that 2 had to be a pit. That means that 4 is not a pit. Okay, so that's good information. Yeah, we connect back to a safe room. 18 and 19 could have... One of them has a bat and one has a pit. A pit or a bat. Both ways are bad, but now we know if we go backwards to room 4, we have an edge room that we can actually explore. So we're in 20. We want to go back to room 1. From there, we want to go to room 3. And from 3, we want to go to room 4 is unexplored. We fill a draft in room 4. Does it connect to 2? Yes, it does. Okay, that's a part of a bead. We're in room 4. 3 is safe. 2 is danger. 5 should be safe. It's the only way to go. Choke point. It's actually still part of the bead. It leads back to 4. Oh no, it moves forward to new rooms, 6 and 7, which looks safe. Okay, thinking about this, we know there's a pit behind us. We know that there's another pit kind of far behind us. We should be able to keep moving in this direction. And actually, we should be safe until we run back into our original kind of room. We should approach the Wumpus from the other side. Hopefully, if we get lucky. So, we actually should be in the clear pretty much. Let's go to 6. Connects back to 5. Connects over to 7, which is safe. And connects to 8. Let's go to 7. Just to confirm this. Yep. Connects to 5 and 6. This is the bead structure. We move to 8 next. Awesome. 8 is leading out. There should be a choke point. Yeah, that's heading to 9. Should be the entryway to another bead. Okay, I'm getting this down. I'm getting the structure down. We smell a Wumpus. It's connected to... No way. Oh, no. No freaking way. Oh, this is bad. So it connects back to 8, which is safe, but it connects to both 10 and 11. Oh, this is going to introduce something new to our gameplay. Oh my gosh. So, this is bad news bears. Basically, we've now connected to 10 and 11 from both sides. What actually has happened is... What's actually happened is the Wumpus is asleep in either room 10 or 11, and there's no way to know which room that he's in. If you imagine the rectangle, the bead shape, we've got like 4 rooms, and 2 of them are one on each side of the rectangle, or like leading in and out of the bead. But then the 2 rooms at the top and the bottom are connected to each other. Those are 10 and 11. We can't step in them because one of them has the Wumpus. If we shoot and hit, then game over. We win. 50-50 chance we win. But if we miss, the Wumpus is going to wake up and start moving around for the first time. So then we're going to have to, like, be careful. But, okay, if we think about this, we're on one side of the... the bead, the rectangle shape. We've got a pretty good idea that either the Wumpus will step towards us and kill us, or he can step over to room 12 and get killed. So we maybe could just shoot at room 12 and have a chance of winning, actually. Okay. Oh, let's shoot at room. I'm going to shoot one room away at room. Oh, let's do 11. Missed. Okay. So that means that the Wumpus was in room 10 and is now awake. I don't know if the Wumpus can move on their first turn. We don't smell the Wumpus, so I think the Wumpus actually moved to room 12. Oh. Dang. Yeah, so I'm going to shoot room 12 and see if we hit. It's 2 rooms away in room 12. Number of rooms, 2. Oh, is it 2 rooms that we want to shoot at? Oh. I guess let's shoot at 11 also. You got the Wumpus. He was in room 10. The Wumpus will get you next time. Okay, so I was confused. I thought number of rooms was like the number of rooms away from me right now. But it looks like you can actually shoot into multiple rooms at the same time, which feels OP. Like, so then we could have just shot into both 10 and 11 at the same time since we narrowed it down. Okay. Wow. That is honestly pretty cool. Yeah, that makes the game easier than I thought it was going to be. So the Wumpus did get up and move. No, the Wumpus was in room 10. So the Wumpus woke up but did not move. Okay. Wow. Okay, but that's a victory on this kind of crazy topology. Let's take a look. What was the next one again? Cave number 3. So next up we have the toroidal hexnet. Looks pretty bonkers, but it almost just seems like the dodecahedron. Interesting. I don't think there's anything too crazy about this. Like, even though it's kind of hard to imagine, it ultimately just ends up being like the dodecahedron gameplay wise. I really think that more so than, I could be wrong about this, I think more so than the 3D shape of the grid, I think it's the choke points that's the limiting of mobility that makes a cave pattern more challenging. So I'm gonna guess that cave 3 is gonna be just fine. So far, 1 was interesting, was different, was, I don't know if it was maybe a little tougher. 2 is definitely tougher because it kind of sets you up for failure. I think that 4 is going to be brutal, and 5 is going to be confusing. Yeah, let's keep going with cave number 3, cave pattern number 3. It's really our 4th one, starting from index 0, as we do in computer science quite often. All right, yes, we want to play again. Not the same setup. We want cave number 3. All right, hunt the Wumpus. Here we go. I feel a draft. Bats nearby. Lots going on off the bat. No pun intended. We're in room 16. This is connecting to rooms 1, 11, and 12. Okay. We're either going to immediately stumble into a pit or bats. Let's just move to room 1 and see what happens. Okay, we got snatched and moved into another room. So we lived. Room 1 definitely has the bats. 16 is safe. 12 or 11 has a pit. Okay. Noted. Move to room 3. This is a completely separate area of the caves. Room 3 connects to 7, 8, and 18. All right. And there are bats nearby. Again, perfect. So one of these has bats. I guess let's, before I make notes, let's just go ahead and test one of these. Let's go into, let's say, 18. Okay, 18 was safe. So that means there are bats in either 7 or 8. And we have survived chances at death twice now. Small chances. The bats are a little less scary than other things. But hardcore, we live. 18 connects to back to 3, but also forward to 14 and 13. I guess the difference is going to be maybe there are some longer connectors that kind of like take you across the map in one step more quickly. I don't know. Could be a little different. So 14 and 13 should both be safe. Let's go to lucky number 13. Oh, and we smell a Wumpus. Okay. Connects to 9. We're in room 13. Connects to 9, 17, 18. 18 is where we came from. So 9 or 17, are either of these present? No, these are new. New rooms, so 9 and 17. Either one of these could have a Wumpus. So I don't know, why can't we just shoot twice right now? Like, that doesn't make sense to me, why you can do that. Like, if I just shoot at one of those two rooms right now, like, okay, we're just going to try it. This is going to maybe ruin the game, but let's shoot. Number of rooms, 2. Room number 9. Room number 17. Is it going to take 2 turns? Missed. Is it? Yeah, I'm like... Is it one arrow that's going to go into 2 different rooms? Yeah, I'm not really understanding how the arrow works, but now the Wumpus should be moving, so we have a real chance at dying now. So 9 should be safe. 9 leads back to 13 and also leads to 4 and 5. Okay. Yeah, this round's going to be way harder now because the Wumpus is moving. That's good that doesn't work that way. Like, is this where the arrow is going to fly? Like, one arrow is going to pass through these rooms? And if that's the case, like, does each path of the arrow's flight, like, does each step give the Wumpus a chance to move? That's what I'm curious about. Okay. Let's step into room 4. Bats nearby. Okay. Leads to 8, which we knew could have bats. We know where the other bats are, so 8 definitely has bats. 7 is cleared from bats. We've got the 2 bats. They're in rooms 1 and 8. A pit maybe in 11 and 12. So this, room 4, leads to 8, which we know has bats. 9, that is safe, and 19, which should be safe. We don't smell the Wumpus, but the problem is that we could be 2 rooms away from the Wumpus, and we could just step into the same room at the same time and die. So that is now a risk. There's nothing we can really do about that. Tunnels lead to 4, 14, and 15. 4 is safe. 14 is safe. We've been there. We have not been there. We've encountered it. 15 is new. As for completeness, let's go to 14 and see where else it goes. Leads to 18, 19, and 10. 10 is a new one. We'll move there. Leads to 14, back to 14 and forward to 5, which we've encountered and is safe. Also leads to 6. 6 is unencountered. Looks safe enough. We fill a draft and bats nearby. Okay. Leading to 1, which we know has bats. That is a guarantee. Leads to 2 and 15. 15 we know is safe, so 2 has to have a pit, and 2 is unencountered. So we're just not going to mess with 2. 2 has a pit. Okay. Excellent. I guess let's move to 19. No, let's move backwards to 10. Oh, where are we? I'm not paying attention, obviously. We're in room 6. We can go to 1, 2, or 15. Oh, 10 to 6 was a one-way for some reason. So this is actually connecting to 15, which we know is safe. I think. Wow. Yeah, 15, which leads to 6, 19, and 20. 20 is new. Should be safe. We're now just looking for the Wumpus. I feel a draft in room 20 connects to 15, 5, and 11. 11, 5 I think we know is safe. Yeah, 5 is safe. 11 maybe had a pit, so now we know that 11 is the room with the pit in it. 12 is actually safe. Alright, so where do we go from here now? Wow, this is a pretty convoluted map. We're in 20. Where is there an edge to explore? Like, really, I guess 7. 7 would be a safe way to go. Okay, so we're going to move to 15. From there, we're going to move to 19. Okay, we're still safe. From there, I'll move to 14. We don't smell a Wumpus. From there, we'll move to 18. Okay. We'll move to room 3. Bats are nearby. The bats are in room 8. We're going to move to room 7, which should somehow connect to room 12. No. 3 is safe, but it connects to 2, which has a pit, and 11, which has a pit. So no, that's not a safe way to go. Where else do we have an edge? 17 is an edge. Okay, so we'll move back from room 7 to 3. The bat's nearby. We're going to move to 18, which is safe. Yep, no smelling of Wumpus. Move to 13. We could just die on any given turn here. 17 is a new edge for us. I smell a Wumpus. Okay, you're in room 17. Tunnels lead to 2, which has a pit. The Wumpus could still be in there. Backwards to 13, which we know is not the case. And they could also be in room 12. 12, oh, we are now finally connecting back to that original room 12. So it's either 12 or... Let's see. My brain will work. Either 12 or 2. I guess let's fire 1 space away at room 2 with the pit. Here we go. Missed. No. Okay. We can chase. We don't smell the Wumpus anymore. So instead of going back to 13, let's move to room 12. And we smell a Wumpus. Okay. So it's like a 50-50 again. We've fired 2 of our 5 arrows. So we've got a few, basically we've got 3 more 50-50 shots at this, as long as the Wumpus doesn't walk into us. So we're at 12. He's not at 17, so he's either at 16 or 17. Oh, that's a connection that we knew that one. 16 or 8. We didn't have that connection. So did he take the path towards 8 or towards 16? I guess let's shoot at room number 8. Ah, we got the Wumpus. Let's freaking go. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. We beat the toroidal pattern. Okay. So now we're going to go to the dendrite, which I think is going to be nuts. We beat the toroidal hexnet. Only 2 cave patterns to go in Wumpus 2. Next we got the dendrites. Should be crazy. So there's going to be a row of 4 that are all connected, and then we should have these branches that end in loops back to themselves. So this one could really be a problem. Like, it could really, really be a problem. That is cave 4. Yeah, cave 4. This has been really fun so far. Really interesting. Definitely recommend playing with pen and paper. if you decide to give it a try. And it's simple, but it's a lot more fun than you might expect. I'm really enjoying this, especially on the harder maps. Play again, yes. No to the same setup. We're going to do cave number 4 this time. All right. These maps I'm drawing are just bonkers. All right, hunt the Wumpus, bats nearby. You are in room 16. Okay. We don't know if we're in a dendrite. We don't know if we're in the center. We have no idea. Connecting to 14, 19, and 20. And one of these contains a bat. So let's just take a guess. Let's go to room 19. Are we safe? Yeah. Okay. So 14 could have had a bat. And 20 could have had a bat. 19 is safe. 16 is safe. 19 leads to room 16. Oh, and back to 19. Okay. 19 is the edge of a dendrite. All right, I'm going to note that in my map. All right, so we need to move back to 16 then. Dang, dead end. So we basically have to risk death. Again, room 14 or 20. Let's go to 14, wife's lucky number. And yeah, success. So 20 has the bat. But 14 could be a dendrite. It could not. 14 is safe, does not have a bat. We found one bat room. Excellent. All right. Tunnel leads to 11, 15, and 16. These are new. 16 is where we came from. But 11 and 15. One of these is moving towards the core. One of these is possibly moving towards a dendrite. Or they could both be dendrites. 20 could be the way to the core. I don't know. Let's move to room 11. Okay, 11 moves back to 14 and also moves forward to 13 and 10. No signs of danger. I guess let's move forward to room 10. We smell a Wumpus in room 10. Okay. Leads back to 7, also leads forward to 9 and 11. Okay. So, rooms 9 or 11 have the Wumpus. Dang, and it's possible there's no way to... These could be 2 different trees leading towards dendrites. Like the Wumpus could just be blocked in that direction, or that could be leading towards the core. And the Wumpus could have all this room to run away in. I guess let's keep exploring in other directions and see if we can't figure out whether that is likely the core 4 nodes or if it's one of the nodes in the end. I guess instead of moving forward to... Oh, not 9 or 11, 9 or 7. 11 is backwards. Yeah. Let's move backwards to 11. Now from here we can go to 13. And that is a... it leads to 11 or 12. So 12 is probably a dendrite. Let's move to 12. Leads to 13 or itself. So 12 is a dendrite. Move back to 13. Okay. Back to 11. Let's go check out 14. 15 leads back to 14 and it moves forward to 17 or 18. Okay. So this is a good sign. Makes me think that the Wumpus is near a dead end. If I move to 17, it connects to 15 in itself. So that is a dendrite. Okay, move back to 15. Is 18 the same way? Yep. Okay. So it seems like 14, 11, and 10 are in the core, which means 9 or 7, one of the Wumpus ones, is the edge of the core. But basically, it's like we've cut off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've narrowed the map down to 10 rooms. Okay, so I basically need to go back to room 10 and then fire at either 9 or 7. And either we get lucky or we have to chase the Wumpus down in only one half of the complex, which is actually going to be kind of nice. Let's move back to 15. Okay, we move to 14, to 11, to 10, and we should smell a Wumpus. Okay, 9 or 7. Let's shoot at lucky number 7. And we got the Wumpus. Let's freaking go. Victory. Okay, so this is... there's room for error and failure here, but we actually lucked out. And, yeah, ran into a scenario where the Wumpus was kind of cut off from half the map. Narrows down where he was. So, nice. Okay. Now let's try out the just nutty one. Cave 5, the one-way only. Everything everywhere is a one-way. So this is going to be bonkers. And it's the last cave in Hunt the Wumpus 2. Last cave type. Play again. Other than building our own cave. Cave number 5. Alright, here we go. This should be absolutely nuts. So I'm going to start using arrows to indicate direction in this. Oh, this is going to be so crazy. It's going to be so hard to get to the other side of the Wumpus. I don't know, without some luck. We're in room number 7 to start, and it has a one-way connection to 6, 10, or 11. And we feel a draft, so one of these is a pit. We could immediately die. Let's go ahead and try moving to 6. And okay, we're alive. So it is 10 or 11 that have pits. 6 is safe. Leads to 5, 9, or 10. Well, 10 maybe has a draft. 10 maybe has a pit. Let's point this at 10. So 10 is probably it. I'll put a second exclamation question mark on 10 to showcase that. This is also moving us forward to 5 or 9. So let's mark those. They might have pits. 9 might have a pit, but they probably don't. One of these is probably safe. Let's go ahead and move to 9 and see. Okay, so 9 is safe. 9 is good to go. It means it's really probably 10. Takes us forward to 12, 13, or 16, all new places. 12, 13, 16, and there are bats nearby. Okay, and we can only move forward. There's no moving backwards, so we have... Oh, anytime we have a hazard, we have to risk it. Especially early on while we're exploring. Okay, there's no backtracking through the cave to avoid a hazard until we find a cycle that we can take. Okay, one of these has a bat. Let's try avoiding it at lucky number 13. Okay, we succeeded. 13 does not have the bat. That means that 12 and 16 possibly have the bat. 13 says bats nearby. It leads to 16, 17, and 20. So that means that 16 probably has the bat. 17 and 20 we've still not encountered. So let's say that it's 16. Since it's a bat, not a pit, we'll be less safe about it. I actually think that we can say that it's 10 that has the pit. No, we don't know for sure. I'm trying to think about if I should do this. Okay, 16 still could have the bat. And the other ones could also have bats. It's technically possible. So 17 and 20. Any of them could have it, but 16 has 2 question marks. So let's go ahead and move to 17. I smell a Wumpus. Bats nearby. Room 7. This is leading to 20. Ooh, 20 has 2 question marks. So really, it's good that we treated things this way. 1, which we haven't encountered, and 4. All new rooms. Could have bats. And could have Wumpus. 17 we now know does not have a bat, because we've been here and we survived. 20, I think, definitely has a bat, but 20 definitely doesn't have a Wumpus. So I think that we risk the bat rather than risking the Wumpus. Okay, so it snatches me up and puts me in room 14. Have we encountered that before? No, that's a new one. Okay. It's safe. 20 definitely has the bat. Okay. So 20 for sure has a bat. That means that 4 and 1 do not have bats. So I can mark that off. But they still could have Wumpus. Okay. 14 is leading to 13, 17, and 18. There has to be a crossover. Yes. 13 we've been to in a safe. 17 we just were at. This is nutty. And 18 we've not encountered yet. Let's give that a shot. Let's head over to 18. We smell a Wumpus, and we feel a draft. Ooh. Leads to rooms 1, 2, and 17. 1 has the Wumpus. Let's give it a shot. Shoot 1 room to room 1. And we got the Wumpus. All right, victory. Nice, very cool. Yeah, that was a crazy one. All of the rooms moving in one direction. That is pretty fun. That is pretty fun. I think that the more kind of obstacles and tricks that you add, the more fun the game becomes. It's still pretty easy. It's not really that bad. I almost wish that we got caught into problems more often, but if you just stay level-headed and like really take note of everything, this is pretty much a solvable game. I think it looks like Wumpus 3 actually adds a good chunk of chaos. Let's see about adding this in. Okay, can you see that? You sure can. Okay, perfect. Wumpus 3. Oh, wow. Okay, instructions, yes. Like the normal version with a few chuckle additions. So, okay, this is going to be the first... In Wumpus 3, this is going to be the original cave. Okay, so we're not going to have any of the crazy topologies. It's good to know. Let me open up a new page for notes. Okay, now we have the tumaeros, the anaerobic termite swarm. Eats crooked arrows. 1 arrow each time you enter its room. Ooh. So the tumaeros, I'm going to say the tumaeros eats arrows. So it's going to take our arrow count down from 5. Warning, my arrows are quivering when you're 1 room away. Okay, so we definitely don't want to have our arrows eaten. That's kind of hilarious. Hazards can move. Wumpus. The Wumpus sleepwalks. Oh no. Pits. Earthquakes close the old pits and form new ones. Bats. Bat migration. Tumaeros. The tumaeros swarm in search of food. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be really cool. And I read that this one is like maybe unfair and like much harder, but I actually like that. I think that there needs to be a chance of failure, especially in a game like this that you can just solve. Yeah, I know it it can be unfun to like just have no chance at avoiding your fate and dying, just being killed outright, being unable to avoid it. Kind of sucks, but in a game that's so short like this, it's kind of fun. Like if the whole point is just to beat it, it taking a few tries to win, I think is a good thing. This is going to be cool. Yeah, I'm all for this being a little harder. All right, so let's give it a shot. Tumaero eats arrows, and then the hazards can move. So it's only one new hazard. Okay, good luck. Hunt the Wumpus. Rumble, rumble, you're standing on shaky ground. New pits have been formed by the earthquake. Buzz, buzz, the tumaeros are swarming. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. It looks like arrows like flying, like aeronautical or something, so hopefully that's tumaeros. I'm totally not sure though. We're in room 2. It's going to rooms 1, 3, and 10. I want to combine this with the other topologies. That would be pretty cool. That'd be very cool. 1, 3, and 10. We don't hear anything. Okay. So what's going to happen is when something moves, like when there's an earthquake and all the pits move around, for instance, all of our notes about where a pit is, it's going to be old news. So at any given time, we're only going to have incomplete information about where the 2 of each kind of hazard exists. Yeah. It's honestly going to make it more challenging. We're going to move to room 1. Room 1, tunnels lead to 2, 5, and 8. Okay, new rooms to explore, 5 and 8. Looks safe. Let's go ahead and move to 5. What a flap you're in. It's bat migration time. My arrows are quivering. You're in room 5, leading to 1, 4, and 6. So 4 and 6 are unencountered rooms, and they could have swarms of tumaeros. So we want to go back to 1 then. Bats nearby. Okay. So, and we had never learned anything about a bat, so bats could be in rooms 2 or 8. And we definitely don't want to go to the tumaeros, so we're going to risk a bat. Let's move to room 2. Zap, superbat, Elsewhereville to you. You're now in room 5. Oh, it just took us back to room 5. So 2 had the bat. 8 is temporarily, at least, free of bats. Arrows are still quivering. Yeah, we're still going to move to room 1. Only this time, instead of going to 2 where there's a bat, we're going to go to room 8. We feel a draft in room 8. Leads to 1, which is safe. It also leads to 7 and 9. Okay. 1 of which can have a pit, which would end our game. Dang, so we can either risk losing an arrow, or we can risk the bat dropping us off somewhere new. Or we can risk falling in a pit and dying. I think out of all of these, I want to keep my arrows for this game mode. I think risking the bat again is the way to go. So we're going to go back to 1 and let the bats move us again. Ooh, okay. We're okay. Super Bat Snatch, Elsewhereville for you. I feel a draft and bats nearby. We're in room 10. Okay. Oh, it just took us 1 room away. So that tells us that 9 we've already encountered. It says I feel a draft. 9 has the pit. 9 could have had a pit. It has it. It does not have a bat. 2 we already know has a bat. 11 is safe. For now, at least. So we're going to move to room 11. In room 11, tunnels lead back to 10, and they move to 12 and 19. Those are both new encounters. Okay. Let's move to 12. Each one should be safe. What a flap you're in. It's bat migration time. Okay, so we knew that there was a bat in room 2. That is not necessarily the case anymore, so I'm going to mark that off. Anywhere we have bat notes, they need to be erased. Okay, 2 could be safe. Now, bats are nearby. We're in room 12. They connect back to 11. It also connects to 3, which we've already been to, and to 13, which looks like it might be new. Okay, and any one of these rooms could have bats. So 3, 11, and 13. So we just so happened to connect to a room that has a bat on the same turn that they migrated. So we basically have a 1 in 3 chance of running into bats right now. I guess if we're going to do that, let's go ahead and move forward. Let's explore 13, which we haven't explored. Let's get as much knowledge as possible. Oh, okay, this is a lot. Zap, super bat, snatch, else reveal for you. 13 had the bats. Okay, let's mark them off. Oh no, not mark them off. 13 has the bats, so 11 does not, and 3 does not. 11 and 3 are safe. Rumble, rumble, you're standing on shaky ground. New pits have been formed by the earthquake. So, room 9 that we knew had a pit, no longer. We don't know that anymore. The pits have been moved. We now are only aware of a bat being in room 13, bats being in room 13, and there could be tumaeros in 4 or 6. My arrows are quivering. You're in room 3 now. Okay, we've already been there before. We know it connects to 2. We did not know it connects to 4. 4 is one of the 2 rooms that could have had tumaeros. So 4 has them, and 6 does not. So 6 would be safe to explore right now. Okay, we know where one set of bats are. We know where one set of tumaeros are. Tunnels lead to 2, to 4, and to 12. We have been to 12. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so 4 is tumaeros. 12 is safe, and will take us to new rooms. So let's move to 12. Wow, this is a lot, and this is very cool. This is way better, honestly. Bats nearby, that makes sense. 13 we know has bats. We're going to move to 11. Okay, 11 we've been to before. 19 is an unexplored room. Okay, leads back to 11, and it also moves forward to 18 and 20. 18 and 20 I think are both new rooms for us, and it looks like they're safe for now. Excellent. Let's move to 18. Okay. 18. Rumble, rumble, you're standing on shaky ground. New pits have been formed by the earthquake. We don't have any information about pits, so that does not change anything for us. Okay. We smell a Wumpus. We're in room 18. It connects back to 19, but it also connects to 9 and 17. 9 we've been to before, so I'll go ahead and connect 18 around to 9, and then 17 looks like it's new. Yeah, this is a new room. Okay. So the Wumpus is not where we came from. We came from room 19. So a Wumpus is either in 17 or 9. Is that right? Yeah. So 9 could have a Wumpus, and 17 could have a Wumpus. Dang. Okay. And the Wumpus sleepwalks, so it's not like these rooms are. It's not like we can just like go around and triangulate. It's like we almost have to shoot right now to have a chance. I think 9 would just be horrible. If the Wumpus was in room 9, it's going to connect back around to so many rooms. Like 9 connects to this core. Well, it's a dodecahedron actually, so there's no trapping the Wumpus. I forget. Yeah, 17 is a way that we haven't explored, but if it's a dodecahedron, every room there is no trapping it. It's always going to be a 50-50 when we step from one room to another and we smell a Wumpus. I guess we'll shoot our first arrow, one room, and we'll shoot at room 17. Oh my gosh, we got the Wumpus. Wow, let's freaking go. Yeah, we just beat Wumpus 1, 2, and 3. Wumpus 4 unfortunately does not exist, but yeah, this is epic. Wow, this has been a fun time. Let's do it again. Yeah, let's not do the same setup, but let's play the same game. Okay. Yeah, this is really cool. I think out of all of them, Wumpus 2 with the crazy topologies, that is very fun. And then Wumpus 3 with the moving hazards, that is way better. I think that a combination of Wumpus 2 and 3 would be a very fun time. Being able to pick the topology but also having the moving hazards would be pretty cool. Let's give this another play. Hunt the Wumpus. Bats nearby. My arrows are quivering. Good lord. We're in room 12. And right off the bat, we're going to have to take a gamble. 3, 11, and 13. I guess let's move to lucky number 13. And we're safe. Cool. Wow, but we've experienced like 3 things at once really quick. So 13 was safe. That means that 3 and 11 either have tumaeros or bats. So bats and tumaeros in 3 or 11. And probably one's in one room and the other's in the other room. I don't think we can have 2 hazards in the same room, other than maybe a Wumpus moving through a room with a hazard, but I don't know that for a fact, so even though I've never seen it before. In 13 we fill a draft. It's not behind us in 12, so it's ahead in either 14 or 20. Either one of these has a pit. So now we are forced to make a decision. Do we risk falling in a pit, or do we for sure get picked up by bats or lose an arrow? I think that we can't afford death, so I think we have to move back to 12 and hope that we land on the bats. Let's go to room 3. Bat snatch. Elsewhereville for you. Don't blink now, but I hear the Wumpus sleepwalking. Oh! Wait a second. Okay, so I was thinking that the Wumpus was moving with 75% probability right off the bat. But no, the Wumpus's sleeping location is going to change. Oh, that's really nice. That's a nice touch. Okay. You're in room 17 now. So 3 was the bat. It was not the tumaero. So 3 has the bat for sure, and 11 has the tumaero for sure. We're now somewhere else. We're in room 17, and there's nothing around us. We're in a safe place. Connects to 7, 16, and 18, all of which are new rooms. 7, 16, 18. These are all completely new rooms. Okay. Very cool. I guess let's move to room 18. Let's give it a try. Room 18 leads back to 17, also leads to 17, and leads back to 17, also leads to 9 and 19. Both of which are new rooms. I've got two different maps in the same cave system growing that have not connected to each other yet. Let's move forward to, let's do room number 19. I feel a draft. My arrows are quivering. You're in room 19. Okay, so 18 is the only safe room. 18 and 20 we're connected to. Okay, 20 could have been a pit, so we're going to say that 20 is a pit, which would mean 14 is not a pit. Perfect, perfect. 18 is safe, and then what? 11 is the other room. 11 has tumaeros for sure. Okay, so we've just connected this map to the other map. And basically 20 and 11 are both dangerous, so we need to move back to 18. And then, yeah, we'll go exploring in room 9. Rumble, rumble, you're standing on shaky ground. New pits have been formed by earthquake. Okay, so room 20, where we just confirmed that there's a pit, may no longer have a pit. Everything we know about pits has been moved. We smell a Wumpus and we feel a draft. We're in room 9. It connects to 18, 8, and 10. 18, 8, and 10. 18 we just stepped from. 8 and 10. These could have... Okay, let's think this through. First, pits. Any of the rooms could have a pit. A pit could have formed behind me. So literally, we're going to be possibly stepping to our death this round no matter what. 1 in 3 chance of death. Furthermore, if we step forward, we have a 50-50 chance of running into the Wumpus, who's currently sleeping. So it would be best if we could navigate. It would be best if we can navigate around. Like, we could just take a shot at a Wumpus and risk waking them up, which would be awful. Or we can take our chances with the pit, try to work our way around to the other side of the Wumpus to maybe narrow it down to one room. I guess let's take our chances. Instead of moving forward, I'm going to move backwards to room 18 so that it's not both risking a Wumpus and a pit, it's only risking the pit. Here we go, room 18. Rumble, rumble, you're standing on shaky ground. New pits have been formed by the earthquake. Okay, so all of our information about possible pits is gone. The Wumpus is still in either room 8 or 10, but 18 is obviously safe, and now we're in room 18. We don't, there's nothing going on. Okay, perfect. This is perfect. All right, so if that's the case, we need to explore new rooms and see if they'll connect to 8 or 10 where the Wumpus could be. We want to do this before the Wumpus sleepwalks again, preferably, so let's move to room 17. The pits move again. That quick, wild. We still don't hear anything. Let's move to 7 as an unexplored room. We feel a draft. Bats nearby. We're connecting to 6, 8, and 17. 17 is where we came from. 8 was a possible Wumpus spot. So that means 8 does not have the Wumpus. Oh, we need to go backwards. 17. Bats nearby, a draft. And wow, that's it. 17, 6, and 8 we're connecting to. Where's 6? Where's 8? 8? Yeah, 8 we thought could have had a Wumpus. It doesn't. 6 we have not encountered yet. Pits moved recently, so there could be a pit in 6. There could be a pit in 8. There's not a pit in 17. There's probably also not bats in 17, but there could be bats in 6. There could be bats in 8. We basically have to move back to 17 anyway, but we need to rush. Oh no! Don't blink now, but I hear the Wumpus sleepwalking. This is exactly what we didn't need to happen. We needed to rush to 10 and shoot, but the Wumpus sleptwalked, so we lose track of the Wumpus in room 10. But now we smell a Wumpus. We're in 17. The Wumpus could be in 7, 16, or 18. We don't know which one. It could be any of these. So we could just die this turn. I guess if we're going to have to risk death, we want to step towards 16 because that is an unexplored room. Just to make it optimal. Oops, bumped a Wumpus. Oh my gosh, I smell a Wumpus. You're in room 16. Tunnels lead to 15, 17, 20. I've definitely not done that before. Do we smell a Wumpus because the Wumpus is in the room with us? Or did the Wumpus like immediately move away to another room? Or, yeah, I'm not certain how this works. Yeah, I don't know if we need to move one. Well, obviously, we need to move one away. Okay, let's do the connections. It connects back to 17. Also connects to 15 and 20. We have encountered 20 before with nothing in it. 17 and 15. We do not have. That's a new connection. Okay. This is so nutty. All right, so let's move to 15, unexplored. I feel a draft, bats nearby, you're in room 15. Okay, so we don't even smell the Wumpus. I wonder if the Wumpus moves immediately when we wake them up. Oh, that's what had to happen. Okay, when we bumped into the Wumpus, there was probably a 25% chance that they stayed in the room and we just immediately died. 75% chance that the Wumpus moved away. And the Wumpus is now moving every turn. So we need to chase the Wumpus. 15 leads to 6. 6 could have had a pit or a bat. Oh, and we fill a bat and there's draft nearby. Leads to 14, which we have encountered but not explored. Could have a pit or a bat. And leads back to 16. So we basically, which the Wumpus is in that direction. So I guess we're going to move back to 16 and try to hunt the Wumpus. We smell a Wumpus. We're in room 16. Connects to 17 and 20. We've got a 50 shot. We're going to fire an arrow at, let's shoot at number 17. Hope we get lucky. We missed, but we smell a Wumpus. Okay, so let's think about that. We're in room 16. It connects to 17 and 20. Do they connect to each other? No. So the Wumpus didn't move. The Wumpus is still in room 20. Oh, let's shoot. One away in room 20. Yeah, we got the Wumpus. Oh, let's freaking go. Wow. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's a pretty solid playthrough of everything that is Hunt the Wumpus. It would be cool to find this, like, graphical version of the game. I didn't see it like immediately available to play easily, but yeah, I think that this would be fun. It said that this is a version released for the TI 99. Like, is that like the calculator, like Texas Instruments? Is that what we're talking about? Let me do a search. TI 99. Like, what is that? It is a Texas Instruments home computer. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Very cool. So it was made into like a graphical version for that, for the TI-99. So that is 1975 Hunt the Wumpus. Like the art of the Wumpus here. I actually saw some kind of like, I don't know, horned artwork. Let's see if I can find that on the side. I liked learning about and playing this as a role player because I guess the hunting down and firing an arrow at the Wumpus feels like it could be an old form of like multi-user dungeon type combat. The Wumpus is like gives you this kind of like fantastic mental picture. Let's see. Yeah, I think these are. Yeah, so it's all basically this guy, this kind of crazy art right here representing the Wumpus. But something that I did not know that I just now learned is that the mascot of Discord is a Wumpus. Wow, that is crazy. I had no idea. Wow, there's a fun fact for you today. Well, yeah, thank you all so very much for watching today's video, where we played Hunt the Wumpus in its entirety, a strategic text-based predecessor to both the role-playing and adventure video game genres. It was honestly a lot of fun. I had a good little mental image of the fantastic combat happening in my head that made it a fun time to play, and then the strategic decision making, made it fun. I honestly enjoyed it, and I do recommend, since it's completely free and available on the Internet Archive, all three of these Wumpus games. recommend that you head into my video description and give it a try for yourself on PC. It would probably be hard to do this on mobile. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'd love to know what you think in the comments. But that's going to wrap it up for today's Let's Play. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe for more old school role-playing and adventure content. I'm Twinnrova, and this has been Let's Play Hunt the Wumpus. Until we meet again, happy hunting, and fight on!